Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FexExForum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio. FexExForum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I sure hope you enjoyed the Grizzlies home opener this weekend. We didn't get a lot of home victories last season, you might remember, but we got one Saturday night. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, so quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. Michael Eaves is, among other things, studio host for ESPN. He joins me on Mondays in the second segment. He's going to be here in about 20 minutes to discuss a variety of topics, including the World Series, where Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers have taken a 2-0 lead over Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Michael Lee's going to be here in the next segment. When I finish talking to Mike, we'll turn our attention to Memphis football because Ryan Silverfield's Tigers, they beat Charlotte 33-28 on Saturday inside Simmons Bank. A 24-yard pass from Seth Hennigan to Rock Taylor is what secured the victory, and now Memphis is 25th in the coaches poll. We'll discuss the 7-1 Tigers. We'll do that in about 40 minutes. When we finish talking Memphis football, then we'll take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them Penny Hardaway's Tigers. Going to play Alabama in an exhibition tonight. We'll get you ready for that. We'll do it in about 60 minutes. Memphis 901 FC won again this weekend. Next up, Western Conference quarterfinal at AutoZone Park on Saturday afternoon. I'll get you the details on that in just a bit. The Miami Heat have unveiled their new statue honoring Dwayne Wade. They messed the face up, so they're getting clowned pretty badly. I don't know how stuff like this happens. I'll tell you about it. We'll show it to you. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Bennett's Titans lost 52-14 in Detroit yesterday.
Yep.
Another embarrassing performance. Titans are now 1-6 with 3 losses by at least 14 points. I'll let Bennett vent a little bit. We'll do that in the second hour. And a wild story out of Turkey. I guess there's a lot of wild stories out of Turkey.
Yeah.
I imagine. I mean, I ain't never been to Turkey, but I imagine there's some wild stuff going on over
it's
there.
Nice. I've heard Turkey's cool.
Wait till you hear this.
Okay, what's up?
Wild story out of Turkey. A 24-year-old man is dead after a botched beard transplant
Okay.
conducted by an estate agent.
Okay, I'm very interested in this. I got thoughts.
You don't know how lucky you are.
I know, right?
You don't know how lucky you are. You walk around always talking about, I don't have nowhere to park. I ain't got nowhere to park.
Yeah, like this morning.
Yeah, right?
I barely made it in here.
I actually thought at some point, I was like, where is Bennett? Because you, like, if it's...
I'm usually here before you get here.
If it's 9:57 and I'm not here, you're like, he'll be here any second.
Yeah, he'll be here.
Any second, right? But if it's like 9:47 and you're not here yet, I'm like, what's going on with Bennett?
I was looking for a parking
You're
spot.
just trying to park. You're always focusing on the wrong stuff.
Uh-huh.
You're focusing on you don't have nowhere to park. You should be focusing on you've never had to go to Turkey for a beard transplant because you got a great beard. That's your natural beard.
Thank you. It is all natural, baby.
In Turkey, though, not everybody is as fortunate as you, Bennett. A man killed himself after a botched beard transplant conducted by a real estate agent who purported to be a surgeon. It's a lot going on. Probably, I don't know if they have lawsuits in Turkey, but if they do, I bet we're going to get one. I'll tell you more about that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry-out we'll call today. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because Game 4 of a scheduled 82 set for tonight inside FexExForum. It's going to be the Bulls and the Grizzlies in downtown Memphis. Tip scheduled for a little after 7 o'clock. Tickets are available, Grizzlies.com. It'll be the second home game of the season with the first one coming Saturday night following Friday night's disappointing 128-108 loss in Houston in which the Grizz were outscored. I hope you didn't watch this. 69-43 in the final 2 quarters. That was rough. That's no way to spend a Friday night. I hope you were distracted by the World Series or wrestling or something. But That's no way to spend a Friday night. Enough about Friday night. Let's focus on Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday was so much better, so much fun. Nobody cared about Friday once Saturday was done. Final score on Saturday, Grizzlies 124, Magic 111. The game represented the regular season debut for Jaren Jackson Jr. He had missed the first few games of the season with a less than perfect hamstring. But on Saturday, he started, took 10 shots, made 4 of them, finished with 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal in 23 minutes on the court. He didn't make a 3, didn't block a shot, so a lot of the stuff that makes him special wasn't there, but he still finished plus 26. Big Bet Bennett, you were in the building Saturday night. What'd you make of Jaren Jackson Jr.'s season debut?
Well, the defense looked a lot better. I mean, that's the thing that stands out immediately.
The thing that people don't talk about enough in basketball is that when you add a former defensive player of the year, and you already got another former defensive player of the year in the lineup with him, defense tends to get better.
Yeah, so that was the first thing that stood out. Just having him on the floor changes everything defensively for this team. And the one thing we've been talking a lot about the new look offense. It really is a balanced offense. A ton of guys, pretty much everyone that played contributed in the scoring on Saturday night. So it does look like it's going to be one of those things where it's a balanced attack from this team. Everybody got theirs, it looked like.
Biggest revelation from the weekend, I think you would agree, Jay Huff, two-way journeyman who, and it's a small sample size, sure. Small sample size. But he's a two-way player who looks like he could be a real piece for the Grizz.
Hell yeah, he does.
Especially until Zach Edey gets a little more comfortable than he's looked so far. Do you have Jay Huff fever? Have you called Jay Huff fever?
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously amazing on Saturday night. The reverse dunk was, that place exploded. And I will say, speaking of the environment, dude, it was just cool being back in there, and it just felt like something that we have been missing for so long because of last season. Yes.
Just joy.
Yes.
On a very basic level, we'd miss joy.
Yes, like that. We did not have that last year in that building.
We didn't walk into that building too often last year and experience joy.
No, and so just seeing a packed house and everybody into it the whole time, that was a blast. So I'm glad to have that back, and I hope it continues that way.
One of my favorite things about the start of any season, college basketball season, NBA season, an NFL season, college football, baseball, anything, is that you get things you couldn't have imagined. Mm-hmm. We spend so much time talking about this stuff in anticipation of it. Every season, it's who's coming back from injury, who's going to be a breakthrough player, what's the team going to look like, what do you do here? We're just imagining things and talking about them every day. We do it every day. And then the season starts and we don't have to imagine things anymore.
Right.
There's things to see and experience and then focus on them. And is there a moment in the preseason, in the offseason, since Jay Huff signed in July, where anybody, me, you, Vernon Roser, Jessica CJ, Devin, you name them, anybody said, hey, the thing you need to understand is that Jay Huff
watch out.
Is going to be a real important piece in the front court, especially early in the season, why Zach Edey is still getting acclimated to the NBA. Did anybody ever say that?
No. That was one of those things. I think he actually played for that Magic Summer League team, and he lit us up in Summer League, and it was one of those things we need a backup center. This guy looks really good. Let's bring him on board and see what happens because he's obviously good against us.
I thought I might take my kids down to South Haven and see him and maybe get a nice selfie or something, right? That was what it just really did. We spent a lot of time talking about Zach Edey. We spent a lot of time talking about Jaren Jackson Jr. We spent a lot of time talking about Brandon Clark. We spent a lot of time talking about front court pieces, Santi Aldama. Not much time on Jay Huff.
Right.
And yet here we are, few games into the season, and Jay Huff looks like an important piece to this thing. He's a 7-1 center who came off the bench on Saturday night against Orlando. He took 9 shots. He made 7 of them, finished with 18 points, 2 rebounds in 19 minutes. He was 3 of 5 from 3, and it's early, I know, but through 3 games, Jay Huff is averaging 13 points and 3.3 rebounds in 19 minutes per contest. He's shooting 63.6% from the field, 57.1% from 3. He is right now tied for 4th on the team in scoring. This after bouncing around the NBA and the G League in his first 3 years as a professional. Some background on him if you're unfamiliar. He won a national title at Virginia, playing for Tony Bennett, 2019 national championship team. He was a role player, but in the rotation. Mm-hmm. He graduates in 2021, was not selected in the 2021 NBA draft. That's not surprising. And since then, he's kind of just been back and forth between the NBA and the G League, but mostly the G League. He appeared in 4 games as a rookie with the Lakers, appeared in 7 games as a second-year player with the Wizards, appeared in 20 games as a third-year player with the Nuggets last season. So not much NBA experience, but he was first-team All-G League last season while also securing G League Defensive Player of the Year honors. And so apparently the Grizz have been intrigued by what they saw, so they signed him to a 2-way contract. They do that in July, and just 3 games into the season, he's already established a new career high in points in the NBA, and that was with 18 against the Magic in Saturday night's 13-point victory. Do you believe in this? Is this a real thing, or is this just we're going to look back in a month and go, that was a neat little 3-game thing, but now he's in South Haven and we ain't talked about him in 2 weeks?
I mean, I don't know if obviously I don't know if he can keep up that pace, like 57% from 3, but I do think that he's got a unique skill set that can help this team, and that yes, I do think he can be a contributor throughout the season. Maybe not to this level,
right?
But yeah, I think this seems like a guy that's going to be able to contribute to this team a lot this year, especially like you mentioned, Zach Edey. It's going to take some time, it appears, for him to get comfortable with the NBA pace.
Sure.
And Jay Huff looks like he can handle it right now, and so he's bringing something to the table that you need.
It's just added depth that you didn't even think you had. Like I was talking to Jess about it earlier, it's almost like finding a $20 bill in your pocket. You know, when you pull your jeans out of the dryer and you reach into your jeans, and you're like, oh, wow, there's a $20 bill. Didn't even know I had that. Mm-hmm. Jay Huff is like a $20 bill you didn't even know you had. Right. I know technically you knew you had him, right? You signed him. He was at Media Day. I got it. But, hey, if Zach Edey, takes a minute to get comfortable, how do we handle the first week, first 2 weeks, first month of the season? Mm-hmm. Oh, don't even worry about it. We got Jay Huff. I don't think people were saying that a month ago. Maybe not even a week ago.
No.
Maybe not even a week ago. But it is a real thing people are saying now, and I think there's some substance to it. It's an incredible luxury to have.
Yeah.
As Zach Edey, who obviously the rookie out of Purdue, is adjusting to professional basketball. You can start Zach next to Jaren, let the game unfold. If Zach is productive and comfortable, free of foul trouble, write it out. Jay can sit right here. If not, Jay Huff currently tied for second among frontcourt Grizzlies in points per game, is right there on the bench, ready to eat up 15, 20 minutes while improving your defense and providing everything that comes with having a real stretch 5 on the court. So I like it.
I like it too.
Can't wait to see how it goes tonight, because, again, Game 4 of a scheduled 82, that's set for tonight inside FedExForum. Grizz Bulls at 7 o'clock. Chicago enters the game with a 1-2 record, lost to the Pelicans in last Wednesday's opener, then beat the Bucks 2 nights later, then lost on Saturday at home to Oklahoma City 114-95. So they come in here at 1-2. This is projected to be a lottery team. They're not supposed to be competing for anything of substance in the Eastern Conference. That's among the reasons the Grizzlies are 6.5-point favorites tonight. The total, if you're interested, is 232.5. Again, tip-off schedule for a little after 7 o'clock. Grizzlies Bulls inside FedExForum. Tickets available, Grizzlies.com. We'll come back to Grizzlies Bulls in just a bit, but now let's take a break, come back. We'll have Michael Eaves on the other side. I'll talk to him about a number of things, including this Yankees-Dodgers World Series that got off to an incredible start on Friday night. Game 1 went to extra innings. Freddie Freeman ended it with a grand slam. Got to share an incredible moment with his father right there inside Dodger Stadium. Just a sweet scene, awesome, all-time great baseball moment. There were real sports fans in that stadium that night. I saw John Legend among them, and he was like, that's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in person at a sporting event. to experience that kind of thing. World Series off to an amazing start. Game 3 tonight, Yankees-Dodgers, back at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Yanks got a win to avoid going down 3-0. I'll talk to Michael Eaves about that and other things. We'll do it next. GP Show, presented by Ortho South.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedExForum. Don't miss the world premiere of Scalosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedExForum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Constant stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedExForum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up JustinTimberlake.com.
Yellow lace is really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges, and you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on GrindCityMedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio, and on Mondays, I'm joined by Michael Eaves, who is, among other things, a studio host for ESPN. You see him on SportsCenter. You see him right now. Michael Eaves is GP. Before we get to the sports stuff, I saw you this weekend. Both of us we're lucky men. We don't have real complaints in this world, but sucky things still suck. And you woke up this weekend with a flooded basement. How you doing?
I'm good, man. My basement is in disarray, obviously. And for anyone who's gone through it, there's no good time for a flood inside your house, let alone basement with carpet. But especially when you have a house full of guests, it's also maybe the absolute worst time. But we're all good, man. Like you said, we don't have any really complaints. My only complaint I had, and this is first world problems, I could not go into my man cave Sunday and watch all the games like I normally do. I had like 3 TVs set up on the wall. Instead, I had to just watch one TV.
It is funny. I had this exact same thought about tonight. Like, the weather's pretty nice today in Memphis, and I was like, it'll be nice tonight. Maybe I'll grab some steaks and we'll cook on the grill. And we have a TV out there, buddy. I'm going to sound like a jerk after I finish this story. And I was like, tonight's not the night to cook out because I'd rather be in my office because there's the World Series, there's Monday Night Football, there's Grizzlies Bulls, there's Memphis Basketball against Alabama. There's just so much on. When you are used to having a lot of screens in front of you for sports stuff, when you suddenly don't have them, I know this sounds outrageous, but it impacts things.
Absolutely, because we always know how much we have when either we have to move it or someone takes it from us. Right. So a flood took away my normal viewing experience, so I felt some type of way about it. But hey, Gary, let's remember, we do this for a living.
Yes.
We need multiple TVs for sports viewing.
That's what I keep telling myself. I don't know if anybody else in my house believes it, but that is what I tell myself. I'm talking to Michael Eaves from ESPN. Big moment in the NFL yesterday. Let's start there. Bears Commanders. It's a Hail Mary situation. Tyreek Stevenson has now become the focus of this entire thing because he was taunting fans instead of focusing on the play. He subsequently apologized, but how do you overcome something like that when you so visibly made such a boneheaded mistake?
The only way for him to overcome it, especially in the eyes of the Bears fans, which are the most important, is he has to just have a tremendous career going forward and make some plays that will make up for that and make people forget about it. But he is such the easy scapegoat here because of his interaction with those fans. Let's say this. We have no idea what the fans were saying to him. Like, he may have been justified in whatever his response was, but the timing was obviously ill-advised. And for the most part, you can't do it, period, as a player. It just doesn't go both directions fairly. But he was not the biggest mistake made on that play. And even him not being aware when the play actually started, he still got in position to tip the ball. Now, if that is his actual primary job on that play, then he still fulfilled his responsibility. But the person who was supposed to be in front of Noah Brown did not. Now, if that was supposed to be Tyreek and he tried to make up for it by making the play, we don't know. We have to hear the coaches tell us whose assignment was what. But he was not the only mistake made on that play by the Bears. But because of what he did prior, he's the easiest scapegoat, especially for fans of people who don't play the game.
I think most people have seen it by now. If not, it's in, there's a lot of time. Like, they're running around, letting everybody get to the end zone, launches it, and then, like we usually see when these things get completed, it gets tipped and then caught. Okay. I was going to text some football coaches yesterday and just ask this question because I noticed it. The player who caught the touchdown, the Hail Mary, was behind the pack. Do they teach that? Keep somebody behind the pack just in case it gets tipped, you're back there by yourself. They teach that.
That was literally Noah Brown's assignment on that play.
Got it.
His assignment is to be behind the pack as far as possible for the actual tip. And from the commander standpoint, they also have someone in the middle who was supposed to do what Tyreek Stevenson did, was tip the ball, right? And if you hear Noah Brown's post-game sound, he credited his teammate for tipping the ball to him. He just didn't realize it wasn't him. It was actually Tyreek Stevenson from the Bears who tipped the ball. Everyone has an assignment on that play. Every single defender and receiver has an assignment on that play, and it was the Bears who did not execute.
Let's go to the World Series. Obviously, Game 1 Friday night. Just an incredible, not even World Series moment or baseball moment, just an incredible sports moment. I mean, it's 2 big brands, place is packed. 2 outs, bottom 10, Freddie Freeman at the plate. His father's right there. You and I have watched baseball our whole lives. I saw you post on social media. Immediately we all go back to '88 and we think of Kirk Gibson home run in Game 1. Just I imagine there's a lot of things you could do in sports that feel awesome. Sinking a 20-footer to win the Masters. I don't know that anything hitting that home run, having the slow trot around, your fans going crazy, your dad right there, I mean, that's as good as it gets.
I'm surprised Freddie didn't pass out before he got to home plate, because just all the emotions he had to be feeling in that moment were overwhelming, I'm sure. But yeah, that is, and he even said it himself, like that is literally the dreams we had as kids, to hit a grand slam, the bottom of the ninth. It wasn't the bottom of the ninth, but to hit a home bottom of the ninth, to win it and go off in that fashion, it's such a dream that you don't expect it to happen. And for Freddie Freeman, it actually did happen. And to have his father there, who he credited afterwards, with his baseball journey, and still throws BP to him in the offseason. But also, we mentioned the house guests I had over the weekend, and a lot of them were not sports fans. And they saw the home run, they knew it was dramatic. But once I told them, some of the things that Freddie Freeman experienced during the season with his son and that near-death experience, then that story to them became even more compelling because of the personal side of it, not just the sports side, but the personal side. And I don't know if we'll ever see something come together that greatly in one singular moment that everyone will remember.
Aaron Boone's been getting beat up pretty good by the New York media for putting Nestor Cortez into that game. He, of course, had not pitched in more than a month. Is that a fair criticism?
I think it's an easy criticism.
Right.
But there was a reason he was on the roster, right? And so you put him in for that situation. It was lefty on lefty. He made a mistake. But there were other mistakes made in that game that led to home runs, right? The mistake pitch that Flaherty made to Giancarlo Stanton for a home run was a mistake, right? Pitchers can make mistakes. But he's on that roster for a specific reason, and that is that situation. So you put him out there for that. If he's ready to go, he's ready to go. Granted, he hadn't pitched in a while, but he pitched the whole season. He's a professional baseball player. That's what he's paid to do. He just didn't execute it.
Anytime, or at least from my perspective, anytime somebody in any 7-game series goes up 2-0, it feels over because the other team's got to win 4 of the next 5 to get out of it. But then game 3s are interesting because if the Yankees win tonight and they're favored at home, they'll pop back tomorrow and be favored again at home. And you'll wake up tomorrow as a Yankees fan going, all right, if we just do what we're supposed to do today, we'll be tied 2-2 heading into game 5. Just do you give the Yankees a legitimate chance to bounce back tonight, bounce back in game 4, make this a compelling series?
I mean, the 2-3-2 format definitely helps in that regard,
right,
Gary. I mean, we've seen World Series in the past, not a lot of them, where the home team has won every game, and that team obviously went on to win the championship. So it is possible based on the format alone. But it would depend a lot on what happens in game 3, obviously. That's why this game is so critical for New York more than anything, because if you're down 0-3, then it's totally a wrap, right? Other than the Red Sox against the Yankees, you're a wrap. And that's why it's so critical. But the concern still for the Yankees is their best player is not playing well. Aaron Judge is struggling, to say the least, and he carried them all season. He's going to be the MVP. But your best player not performing usually does not lead to overall team success in the postseason for any sport. And that's where the Yankees stand right now.
I want to take you to college football. Former Memphis coach Mike Norvell, now at Florida State, continues to go through it. They're now 1-6. He was undefeated in the regular season last season, won the ACC, was the National Coach of the Year. They owe him $80 million. It seems incomprehensible that you would pay the reigning National Coach of the Year $80+ million to go away, but there are other people who say at Florida State you just can't survive something like this. What would you do if you're Florida State?
Do I have the money from someone to make up for his salary? If there are some boosters out there willing to give me $80 million to hire a new coach, or actually they probably need more than $100 million to pay off Norvell and then hire a new coach, then I have to consider it, because the alternative is all this negative attention around my program just snowballing, right? I just think people have to remind themselves how difficult it is to win consistently in any sport, any level, but also in college football, how fast it can come and how fast it can go. And oftentimes it's based on 1 or 2 recruiting classes. And if those guys peak at a certain time, like you had last year with Florida State, great. But now you don't have a great starting quarterback. Offensive line's not as good. Here's a hole. Next thing you know, you can't compete at the same level you did just a year ago. It can go that fast, and Florida State is clearly experiencing that. But again, Gary, it's all going to depend on money. How much money do we have to get rid of this negative attention around our program?
I think a nice example of this is you're wearing the Kentucky sweatshirt right now. It was not too long ago where Mark Stoops was so empowered in Lexington that he was actually in a position where he could talk shit to John Calipari. And now he's on the wrong side. Like, it is amazing in college football. And I think that sport more than any other. You can go from Dan Mullen, New Year's Day Bowl at Florida, everything's fine, to it's just over. It is really wild how quickly it turns on you in college football.
It is, and I don't understand why more fans and administrators don't understand that. And because that's what leads to all these coaches, and I don't begrudge anybody for making any amount of money they can based on, the chosen profession. However, you can begrudge the people who pay them without noticing what the market really says about their value and the difficulty in what they're trying to perform. And look, Mark Stoops has done very well at Kentucky by Kentucky standards, but he's paid to do better than Kentucky standards, right? And he's being paid more than his production so far. But he's not the only coach in college football that has experienced that. So why does that trend continue where these coaches get these exorbitant contracts with the expectation of delivering something they've never delivered before in their lives, or this program hasn't shown that it can deliver, right? And the money keeps coming, the boosters keep paying it, the ADs keep paying it out, and they're not getting the return on their investment the way they should. And now people are like, all right, well, Mark Stoops is going to leave to go somewhere else because some other program can't get what they need there, so they think this guy at Kentucky, who couldn't do it at Kentucky, can now do it at their program. And again, this is not about Mark Stoops, what we're saying here. He's an example of the times. He's the 9th or 10th highest paid coach in all of college football, and Kentucky can't even sniff the division in the SEC East. But again, that's just an example of the overall scope of college football right now as it comes to coaches and these expectations from fans and administrators that seemingly just don't make sense.
Well, especially when you keep expanding these conferences and you got so many teams in the SEC now. I was doing SEC preseason basketball rankings the other day, and it's like, a team that I think is good enough to go to the NCAA tournament, I got to put them 11th. Like, this is one of the byproducts of conference realignment and expanding and adding Texas and Oklahoma. Everybody can't win. And you're going to have programs that are investing millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they're going to lose simply because everybody can't win.
Yes, it's almost a cross section of our economy, right? The way it's been going the last 30 years. Trickle-down economics does not work, right? And so the more money becomes invested into something, what happens is the richer get richer, the poorer get poorer, and it's a lot farther between the middle class and the uber rich than it is down to the poor. And that's what's happening with college athletics. The programs in certain sports who've always been there, they're getting richer, and those other programs finding it harder and harder for them to compete and then try to become that next level, whether it's through NIL, whether it's paying coaches the salaries that are comparable to what the market is saying, all of those things because of the money that's being invested.
Wrap it up here with Michael Eaves from ESPN. Last thing before I let you go. Indiana Fever fired their coach, Christy Sides, over the weekend. Even though, the Fever go from picking first in the draft to making the playoffs. Caitlin went from, a little bit of a slow start to first team All-WNBA. You know way more about this than I do. Is it justified that they would make a coaching change?
Didn't seem like it.
Right.
I mean, based on the fact of where they were the year before and now they get to the playoffs, it doesn't seem like it. So here's what had to happen. Okay, it had to be one of two things. Either Caitlin Clark said something to ownership that she did not believe this coach was right for the program. I'm not saying she did, but it was either that or the owner or the general manager, whomever, believed that Caitlin Clark didn't believe in the head coach, right? That's the only way you make that move. Because what it reminded me of a little bit was Magic Johnson back in the early 80s when he was with the Lakers. Magic Johnson got Paul Westhead fired, okay? They replaced him with Pat Riley. They're going to win 5 championships. So, a lot of people forget that aspect, but it was Magic Johnson that led to Paul Westhead, who had been successful with the Lakers. That led to him getting fired, and they hired Pat Riley. If Caitlin Clark either said it directly or inferred it or someone assumed it, that's the only reason this move was made, based on the fact that they were so bad in the league last year that they were able to get the number 1 pick in Caitlin Clark. Then all of a sudden they go to the playoffs this year, and now that coach is fired.
And that's exactly right, because here's the truth. If Caitlin Clark stood by this woman, she'd still be the coach of the Indiana Fever. Caitlin doesn't have to say fire her. They just have to say, what do you think if we're thinking about it? And Caitlin could stop it if she wanted to, and that she didn't suggest something.
Yes, and so again, I'm not saying it's Caitlin's responsibility,
right,
to say the head coach's job, but if the ownership or the GM went to Caitlin Clark and asked her, and she said, "No, I think she's the coach. She should stay," she would be there today.
That's right. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. Catch him on SportsCenter and on X at Michael Eaves. That's at Michael Eaves. Thanks, brother. I hope everything goes well at the house. I appreciate you being here.
All right, man. Be good.
I'll see you. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. I did it wasn't even on my radar, like that the Indiana Fever might be contemplating a coaching change because, I'm not in it like that. But coaches whose Wikipedia page typically look the way this woman's looks, they don't get fired. Like, she improved year over year. They made the playoffs. They were terrible. That's how they ended up with Caitlin Clark. Then they make the playoffs. And I know they weren't going to win the championship, but it seemed to be headed on the right direction. And Michael's exactly right. Either Caitlin Clark said do this, or she didn't stop it from being done. I don't know which is which. And either way, when you're that powerful and that big of a deal, these are the types of things you are in control of. But this is very simple. Go back to Milwaukee last year when they make a coaching change early. Adrian Griffin was the coach there, rookie head coach, and they got him early in the season, and he had a winning record. They were top whatever in the East, and boom, they just fire him. And you go, well, that's pretty clear what happened here. Giannis doesn't believe in this guy. Because if he did, they're not going to fire a coach midseason with a winning record without talking to the franchise player.
Right.
Giannis didn't have to say fire the coach. But just you're Giannis, I'm ownership. So how's it with Coach Griffin? What do you, between us, just between us, you think he's the guy? You've been around him a lot now. You've been around a lot of coaches. You believe in this guy? Is this the guy to take us where we need to be? And you're Giannis and you go, I don't know. If you're Giannis and you say, of course he is, then the conversation's over. But if you say, I don't know, and if he's not standing in the way of what you think you already want to do, then that's enough. Caitlin Clark had that same kind of power in Indiana. She could have stopped this if she wanted to, and that she didn't suggests that she didn't want to. Now some people are going to call her a coach killer. I'm not. Some people are. You going to call her that?
I'll hold off.
I'm going to hold off.
I'll hold off.
I need to know more before I label a young woman that way. I need to know more before I label a young woman that way.
Hold off.
But some people are going to start calling her a coach killer. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Interesting talking to Michael Eaves about the Mike Norvell situation. What would you do, Bennett? You're Florida State.
Yeah, I think that you give him. By the way, I can't. Have you noticed my little poster back here?
Darnell put that back there for you, and the idea behind it is just, in the breaks, particularly on Mondays, we got these 5-minute breaks.
Yeah, you got a little time.
You turn around, just practice right now. Turn around, and tell me the capital of Kansas.
The capital of Kansas is Topeka. See, I would have gotten that. I would not have gotten that.
We're learning.
I would not have gotten that one.
And if you turn around and you do two, or you just got to focus on two every commercial break, I think by the end of the year, we're going to know these, no problem.
I'll know it today.
Why don't you just go ahead and tell me what the capital of Minnesota is, since it's right there behind you?
The capital of Minnesota is St. Paul.
Of course it is.
So, I still stand on, why are our capital cities not our most well-known cities?
I think I had a good idea the other day. Right off the top of my head. Your capital city, every state's capital city should be its most, if it were Family Feud.
Yeah.
It's Family Feud. And they say, we asked 100 people, what's the most famous city in Missouri? And they would go, St. Louis. And they go, okay, St. Louis is the capital.
Yeah.
Whatever the number one answer on Family Feud is for what is the most famous city in your state, that should be your capital. And if that ever changes, then your capital changes.
Like Tennessee, they got it right. I mean, it's Nashville.
Once upon a time, Memphis and Nashville were neck and neck.
That's right.
I think once upon a time we could have reasonably said.
In the 90s.
I don't know if it was in the 90s. It was probably more like.
It's like early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. We were hanging around. Wow, dude, we were hanging around with Nashville.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah.
And there was a time where maybe, let's just say for the sake of this conversation, this hypothetical conversation, let's say from the beginning of time through 2003, Memphis was the capital of Tennessee. Wouldn't that have been fun? Mm-hmm. Okay. But then it's clear, like, we don't have to lie to each other. Nashville has passed us.
Yeah.
It's bigger, it's wealthier, it's everything more than us, right? I mean, it just is. What do you want me to do?
It's not cooler.
It's
not to me.
Not to you.
Not to me.
Not to you.
They don't have Jay Huff in Nashville, buddy.
That's true.
Yeah.
I bet they got a bunch of people look just like him, though.
Maybe so.
I bet they got a bunch of people that look just. I bet you could have a Jay Huff lookalike contest in Nashville, no problem.
Yeah.
So then at some point, we would have had to, like, somebody would have had to step in and say, hey, listen, I was watching Family Feud. They said most famous city in Tennessee. They used to say Memphis, but now they're saying Nashville. And I just had to say, well, then you know what has to be done?
We're switching capitals.
We're moving the capital to Nashville.
Yeah.
That's the way it should work. I agree with you.
Yeah. Why can't we switch our capitals?
I think we should. Move them around. Spread the joy.
Yeah.
Move our capital around.
Spread the love.
It
should be like a competition within states.
It would make them harder to storm.
That's very true.
That's
very true. People wouldn't know where to go.
People wouldn't know where to go.
Yeah.
You'd have people showing up in Topeka.
Mm-hmm.
In Topeka. And it'd be like, no, you can't. You need to go to Wichita.
Yeah.
The capital's in Wichita.
Right.
You're trying to storm something in Topeka, but we moved the capital to Wichita, idiot. It would be it would add a safety component to the whole deal. A lot of good stuff comes from this. Why don't you just sit right there and tell me the capital of Alabama real quick?
Oh, the capital of Alabama is Montgomery.
I knew that one.
I knew that one too.
myself.
I actually did know that one.
I did know that one. I've spent time in Montgomery.
Yeah.
So back to Mike Norvell.
Yes.
Hey, capital Florida. What is it?
Tallahassee. I didn't even have to look.
See, based on our logic, Florida should have years ago moved their capital to
Orlando
or Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orlando or Miami.
And they've got like 5 cities more popular than Tallahassee.
Tallahassee? Well, you put your capital in
Kidding
Tallahassee.
me? What is in Tallahassee?
Mike Norvell,
Gators?
for now. Here's the thing. First off, it's just sort of interesting. Memphis is stuck in a crap conference because they can't come up with $20 million, and Florida State's trying to figure out if they need to pay $80 million just to get rid of Mike Norvell.
Oh my God! Yeah, that makes me sick.
How different the worlds are.
That hurts.
Memphis is stuck playing Charlotte because they can't find $20 million, and Florida State's like, we might pay $80 million to get rid of the reigning national coach of the year. Mm-hmm. That's how different worlds we're living in now. I know Florida State fans don't want to hear this. Let me tell you the smartest thing you can do.
Chill.
Yeah,
because the thing is you can totally justify what's going on. And obviously it's Mike's fault for sticking with for going and getting DJ and making him his quarterback. That derailed their whole season because he was awful. It started bad and they couldn't get out of it. I think you just say, hey, we made a mistake on the quarterback. We're going to go get a quarterback and we'll be back.
You'd be so much better off. All right, listen, Mike Norvell is going through it right now.
Yeah.
And in that type of job, it can really just get on top of it. And it just suffocate. Like, it can flip on you. But if you can ever get out of it, he's an awesome football coach.
Yes,
we know this.
Of course.
He did unprecedented things at Memphis. He's the national coach of the year at Florida State. It would be idiotic to pay $80 million to make that guy go away when you could take 10 and buy him the best team in the country.
Yeah. Go get the best quarterback out there that's available.
I'm not even, like, Ohio State might have just spent like 8 or 9 on a team and it's called the most expensive team. Say this. This is what I would tell my fans. Instead of paying $80 million to make the reigning national coach of the year go away, we're going to spend 20 on our football team next year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it goes. But we're going to have the most talented, expensive football team in the history of the sport next year. And we're going to hand that roster to somebody who was the 2023 National College Football Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
And we're going to see what that does. Isn't that so much smarter than paying $80 million to make a coach go away so that you can spend another $50 hiring somebody who's probably not as good?
Right.
I know he's having a bad season. I'm not rationalizing it. I'm not justifying it. I'm not excusing it. What's happening is happening, and it's terrible. I'm just saying, when I hear people say things like, if you do this at Florida State, you can't keep your job, I just think that's you'd never look at anything in life and make these hard and fast decisions based on, well, if this ever happens here, then this is what you got to do. Mm-hmm. You always look at it when you're there and go, okay, what's the best thing to do now? I'm in this bad situation now. Is it really best for me to stick to some rule that says if you're this bad at Florida State in 1 year, you can't keep your job? Because that's what some people say. Okay, so what does that look like? What does that mean? That means me paying $80 million to the guy who I believed in wholeheartedly less than a year ago. Mm-hmm. That's just $80 million gone. Just walk away with all our money. Now we got to spend another, if we're going to hire a real coach, and there's no guarantee the new coach is going to be good. Mm-hmm. Look at what Florida did. Dan Mullen, good year, bad year, fired. They stink. Dan Mullen's collecting tens of millions of dollars. They're paying millions of dollars to another. They stink. They'd have been better off if they'd have just done this. When Dan Mullen had that bad year, you know what they should have done? All right, what's next?
Yeah.
That's almost always the smarter thing to do. If you have a bad coach, that's one thing. I don't think Florida had a bad coach when it had Dan Mullen. I think they had a good coach who had a bad year. If you have a bad coach, that's a problem. I don't think Mike Norvell's a bad coach. I think he's a great coach who's having a bad year. Don't pay $80 million to make him go away. Pay $15 to give him a roster and a quarterback and see what happens next year. And then if it ain't what you want, by all means. 2 bad seasons in a row, I agree. Let's go. You would regret pulling the trigger on this after one horrific season. But we'll let them make their own decisions. We come back. Memphis Football won again over the weekend, beat Charlotte in the final minute. Now ranked 25th in the coaches poll. Bennett, did you know you're a fan of a nationally ranked college football team?
I did.
You are.
And I feel great.
7-1. That's the record. Get you updated on the hopes of appearing in the AAC title game. We'll do that next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedExForum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up JustinTimberlake.com.
How much have you added weight since your rookie year?
Bro, I think I was like 20?
Your rookie, you were
40 pounds.
I'm
like 265.
You 265 right now?
In between that and like 273, I'm floating in there.
You have looked at a scale and it said 273.
With shoes on, but still.
Too little.
That's not phone posits either, right?
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The 3 big one was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract, and he is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well-deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get them.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on GrindCityMedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. Memphis Football improved to 7-1 overall, 3-1 in the AAC over the weekend with a victory over Charlotte in the final minute. Bennett, be honest, did you get nervous when Charlotte took the lead late, or did you trust Seth Hennigan to get it done once again?
Yes, I did get nervous. I did get nervous. But, hey, the better team won.
They left too much time on the clock.
They did leave too much damn time on the clock.
I think everybody recognized that in real time. Charlotte, congratulations on your little touchdown, but it feels like you left too much time on the clock for the winningest quarterback in Memphis football history, a man who now, Bennett, you sent me the tweet.
Yes.
Has more 300-yard passing games than anybody in Memphis football history.
I believe the most touchdowns in Memphis football history.
Look at this guy.
Well. Yeah. He's
going to mess around and end up in the Memphis Sports Hall of Fame with Jarvo.
I believe Seth will get in there one day, probably. I mean, we got to see what happens, in the. We got to see what happens in the. What do we call the postseason, the bowl season?
I think Seth Hennigan has already established his place in the Memphis Football Hall in the Memphis Sports Hall of Fame.
I think that win over Iowa State solidified it.
I think that's been solidified. So the Tigers are now 7-1, ranked 25th in the coaches poll. They now have a team that is ranked in the top 25 of a legitimate national poll that is referenced often.
Yeah.
3-1 in the league. The problem, of course, is that Army, Navy, and Tulane all remain undefeated in the AAC.
Mm-hmm.
So, talking about it with Jess earlier, it is true there is a path to the AAC championship game for Memphis, just like there's a path to the college football playoff for Memphis. But both paths are improbable and unlikely. Like, first off, you probably need Army to lose. Army's already 6-0 in the AAC. They only have 2 games left in the league because, as you know, because I've heard you say it before, the Army-Navy game that is played at the end, like their last regular season game, not a conference game. Do you know why? Do you understand why?
Why?
I'm not trying to quiz you, I promise. I feel like we beat you up on Friday.
No, because I've heard the reasoning, but yes.
When they decided to make Army a football member, one of the sticking points was we're not moving the Army-Navy game. And that game is played a week later than like your conference championship games. It's like almost a standalone thing on CBS that they treat like a big deal.
Yep.
So one of the sticking points was like, hey, we'll do this, but we're not moving that game. Army-Navy will play on that date in that time slot on CBS every year. And there's no way to make that a conference game because the conference championship game would have been played earlier. So you got to have that done. You got to have all the conference games done before Army-Navy even play.
Yeah.
So there's a scenario where Army-Navy play in the AAC title game and then play again.
Yeah.
Like literally the next week.
Right. And to that, I would say that would have been a deal breaker for me.
You would have said no?
I would have said, then we're not inviting you. We have to figure this out.
Okay, Bennett said take a stand.
Yes. Again, that's one of the biggest games in college football. If you're the AAC and you're inviting Army into your league, I think that's your responsibility to figure out how to make that a conference game because of how massive that game is for college football.
But here's the problem. They're saying no.
So I would have said, well, then stay in your league.
Well, this is a different version of what I was talking about earlier with Mike Norvell. Like, it's very easy to say, if you don't want to make this a conference game, then we won't take you, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but once they say, hey, listen, that's fine, but we're not going to agree to make it a conference game. Mm-hmm. We like having that window on CBS. We like the way that game is framed and lifted up. And we are not giving that up. Mm-hmm. That means way more to us. All due respect, that means way more to us than being in your little AAC.
Yep.
So if you can't budge on that, we're already telling you we can't budge on that. So the conversation's over. At that point, if you're the AAC, then you have to it's a new thing. It's a new decision to make. You're no longer picking between, do we want Army Navy to be a conference game or not? What you're actually picking between is, do we want Army or not? And what they clearly decided is, we would rather have Army with Army Navy as a conference game. But if that's not possible, our options are now limited to have Army without the Army Navy game or don't have Army at all.
Yeah.
And we decided Army is a brand. At least in this year, they're good. It's better to have them in that form than to not have them at all.
I just don't understand how, if you're the AAC, you can't say, okay, well, then we'll push our conference championship game back a week.
It's just all way more complicated than that.
Yeah, and I get that. I understand that, like, there are people way smarter than me that are making these decisions. My whole point of that is, if I'm the AAC, I would have figured out a way to make that work. I would have just tried everything in my power to figure out how to make that work.
What I'm trying to say is there's no way to make it work.
Okay.
Nobody was budging. CBS wasn't budging.
I got it.
Like, that's a big property of CBS, too. Like, they care about that.
I know.
Immensely. So, like, all the powers that be were like, we'll talk, but the conversation has to start after this. Mm-hmm. We're not moving that game. And if we don't move that game, it can't be a conference game. Do you want to continue the conversation? Because if not, I understand. But, like, we're not. That's non-negotiable. Mm-hmm. So that's where we are. Either way, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, now Navy is still undefeated in the AAC. Tulane is as well. And Army is as well. Memphis doesn't get to play Army.
Right.
The Tulane game is regular season finale in New Orleans.
Yes.
Already done Navy. You know what happened there.
Yep.
So Navy's going to hold the tiebreaker over you. You don't get a shot at Army. Army's only got 2 league games left. They're going to be favored in both of them. Army's probably going undefeated in the AAC. Mm-hmm. If that happens and Navy doesn't lose twice, then it doesn't matter what you do.
Yep. You need Navy to lose to, really the biggest opportunity for them to lose, they have a home game against Tulane. Right. You're really rooting for Tulane there. I mean, they play 3 road games still. Like, again, teams slip up. Like, things can happen.
I don't want to get too off schedule.
Yeah.
I got all the numbers in front of me.
Yeah.
Here's the basic. Here's what you need to know as a Memphis football fan.
Yeah.
You need a lot of stuff to happen.
Yes.
And almost none of it is likely. You need to win out. You're not expected to do that. You'll be an underdog you'll be favored in your next 3 games.
Then an underdog at Tulane.
At UT San Antonio, you'll be favored in that one. Mm-hmm. That's Saturday. Versus Rice on Friday, November 8th at home. You'll be favored in that one. And then versus UAB on Saturday, November 16th at home. You'll be favored in that one. Then you'll be an underdog at Tulane. So you need to win out, and you're unlikely to do that. Or at least you're not expected to do that. You need some combination of other stuff that is also unlikely. Army's probably not losing.
Right.
Navy's probably not losing twice. You got problems.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in this weird spot where Memphis is legitimately good.
Yes.
They're 7-1 and ranked 25th in the coaches poll. They might be a 1-loss team heading into that regular season finale with Tulane, but I think that's the next time we can actually get Memphis fans excited about this, because then you can frame it a little, like you'll have a number beside your name, and we'll see what happens between now and then. But if there's still a 1-loss team heading into that one, I think we can get some genuine excitement connected to it. But right now it's just missing a little bit, and it seems crazy to think about. Think about when you were a kid. If I'd ever told you, Memphis football 7-1, ranked 25th in the country,
right,
you'd have been like, oh my God.
Oh, it's very true.
And here we are, and it's just like, whatever. Like, it's just.
Well, because you would have been 7-1 with, and granted, Memphis got a win over Florida State, but obviously that lost all of its juice because Florida State's horrible. But typically, any season that Memphis football would be 7-1 in the past, they would have won some huge game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just not really been the case. Again, the Florida State win was awesome. Like, that day was amazing, but like now they're not good.
Right.
Like, everybody's beating them.
Everybody beats Florida State.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just I don't know that I've ever experienced a moment, and I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but I don't think I've ever experienced a moment where Memphis football is this good, but interest is this low. You know?
Yeah, I think yeah, I'm with you. Like, as it gets closer, but that obviously that doesn't help their purposes. But like, as it gets closer, the excitement's going to get up if you keep winning. And
you say that. I don't know. That's my point. You say that, but they've been winning, and it's not there.
No, it's true. I agree with you. We need Navy to lose. We need Navy to lose. That's our opportunity. Navy loses, and it's all systems go. Like, it's wide open then.
Well, then we can start having, like, if they lose again and like those types of I don't think we're there yet. I don't think you can have an intelligent, reasonable conversation about Memphis making the college football playoff right now. But keep winning. Let some other weird stuff happen.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can get there. And hopefully if we get there, then the excitement will ratchet up. And when we turn on the games, we'll see it. It'll be obvious. But right now, when you do that, it's just not.
You think our old friends at Rice could help us out this weekend?
I don't trust Rice to ever help me out.
Navy's traveling to Rice.
I can't trust Rice. Can you trust Rice?
To be Memphis.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I don't know. I do not know one thing about the Rice football program. I would assume I know nothing about that. I would assume they're not good.
Well, this is the other problem, and I really do think a lot of this, in fact, most of it is just league affiliation. Nobody cares about the AAC. I think the Pac-12 thing also was a detriment. Like, sometimes it's just better not to know what you could have done.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes just you'd feel better right now as a Memphis fan if you didn't even think the Pac-12 was an option for you. But you know they wanted you, and you know it's a better league, and you didn't go. And that beats you down a little bit.
Dude,
as a fan base, it beats you down a little bit.
No, I mean, because that game this weekend, like, and again, I'm watching it, like, it was awesome when they won. Like, that was a cool moment. But yeah, like, as I'm watching it and you think that they're about to lose, it's like, well, this is over. Like, right. It's, if they would have lost,
if they would have lost, it would have been like,
and that's disappointing because, like you said, a win, like, it just doesn't really, a win over Charlotte just doesn't do anything for anybody because you just don't care.
This is the ultimate problem that they're going to be facing, not just now, but for years to come. And I'm not going to keep saying this every week.
I know.
But like, you can't make people care about something they don't care about. And when you've reached a point as a university, as an athletic department, when your fans are telling you with their feet and their money, hey, you're winning. Right now, this should be an amazing place for Memphis. You have a nationally ranked football team that's 7-1 and a basketball program that is 40 spots better, roughly, than any other basketball program in the AAC at both Ken Palm and Bart Torvik. Nobody's excited about any of it. That's a problem. It's one thing when people aren't excited when you're not good. Memphis football is good. Memphis basketball is supposed to go to the NCAA tournament. And the excitement is not where it needs to be.
Right.
And I don't know how you fix it. I know how you could have helped it, but we talked about that. But now that we're here, I don't know how you fix it.
Mm-hmm. Rice they do have one conference win. They beat UTSA. That's a nice win.
I guess so.
They've done it. They've done it already this season. They've had an upset in conference already this season. All right.
I'll put it on. I'll make an alert, and I'll remember to check in this weekend and see.
Let's go Rice.
Let's go Rice.
Let's go Rice. Come on, do us a favor. Do us a solid.
You owe us. If we're gonna,
you've been making us depressed over the past year. Can you please do us a solid?
If we're gonna live in this stupid neighborhood with you, can you at least do something nice for the neighborhood every once in a while? Help us every once in a while. Rice, Christ.
Yeah. All right. We'll see what happens.
From football to basketball, Penny Hardaway's Tigers back on the court tonight. It's an exhibition against Alabama and the preseason National Player of the Year at CBS Sports, Mark Sears. We'll get you ready for that next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedExForum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up JustinTimberlake.com.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Somebody else we have not seen in a long time is Morant. Since you've seen him, does he look any different to you, or is this the same superstar Ja that we were used to?
He's always getting better, so you just got to watch out for that. That's.
And it's a revenge tour. Yeah. It's a revenge tour, like the world's forgotten about me. And
I don't think they forgot.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Dinosaur draft.
Give me Littlefoot.
Littlefoot's a great pick
It
in your
is.
alternate
Damn
reality.
right.
in your fake dinosaur draft because
I'm
you don't
sorry.
believe in real
I'm sorry.
dinosaurs. Give me a velociraptor. It's so cute and so scary.
That's
I'm
not
sorry.
a real velociraptor.
That's not a chicken.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The 3 big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract, and he is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either, and that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Penny Hardaway's Tigers will be back on the court tonight. Second of 2 exhibitions. The first, of course, was against North Carolina inside FedExForum. This one going to be against Alabama down in the state of Alabama.
Okay.
It's the Tigers and the Crimson Tide. Mark Sears, the star at Alabama, your preseason CBS Sports National Player of the Year. Alabama picked to win the SEC. Alabama, number 1 in the country in the preseason, according to my colleague and friend John Rothstein.
Okay.
I don't have him there, but I do have him at number 2. It's a tough challenge tonight. Will you click on ESPN Plus and consume it?
I'll be here, but I'll have it pulled up on my phone.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll have it pulled up on my phone for sure. I thought that, that North Carolina game, they were competitive against a team that's supposed to be really good, who was obviously missing their best player. But I was encouraged by some of the things I saw. And I just want to see the same thing tonight. Like, I want to see him hang in there with Alabama and not just get run off the court. I think that to see that would definitely go a long way with the fan base. Just like, okay, like they can hang with the big boys this year. Like it appears so after these 2 games.
Yeah, you can't put much stock into exhibitions.
Sure.
Like Jessica pointed out this morning, USC just beat Gonzaga. Gonzaga is a preseason top 10 team. USC is not supposed to be good. What does that really mean? Arkansas beat Kansas late Friday night. Kansas preseason number 1, but Kansas was missing Hunter Dickinson, 2 other rotation players. Alabama beat Wake Forest in their first exhibition. Wake Forest is a projected NCAA tournament team. Beat them by 21, and Alabama was missing 3 starters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're up against tonight. Alabama will not be missing its best player the way North Carolina was missing its best player. Mark Sears is expected to play. But Alabama was missing 3 starters, Chris Youngblood, Latrell Wrightsell, and Grant Nelson in the exhibition against Wake Forest. And at least 2 of those guys are expected to be out again tonight. So you will not see Alabama at full strength. But you might not see Memphis at full strength either. And these are nice tune-ups designed to, raise money and get some good work in. But you usually can't draw any big conclusions from them. So we'll watch them. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But just understand the context with which you're watching. These are 2 basketball teams, both of which are expected to be in the NCAA tournament. But one is supposed to significantly be better than the other, but that one will be shorthanded tonight. So the Alabama you see in March and the Memphis you see in March probably won't be on display tonight, but still, it'll be on ESPN Plus. You can stream it if you want to.
I will stream it.
Bennett says he will.
Number 2.
Congrats to Memphis 901 FC.
How about that? Back in the playoffs.
Home match on Saturday afternoon, AutoZone Park, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
You know who's coming in here?
Who?
Orange County Soccer Club. Get out of my face. Orange County Soccer Club. Get out of my face.
Who the hell is that?
Orange County Soccer Club. Get out of my face.
I'm not familiar with their work, but what I do know is they ain't built for this.
They're a 6 seed.
They ain't built for this.
They're a 6 seed in the Western Conference playoff. 901 FC, a 3 seed in the Western Conference
they
playoff.
ain't built for this.
901 FC has avoided a loss at home and double-digit number of matches. You don't just walk into AutoZone Park and get a victory anymore as a road team.
No, you do not.
That's not something that happens anymore. That's something that used to happen.
Yeah.
If you have been here from the beginning, smashing guitars from the beginning.
Yes.
That used to happen sometimes. It's not something that happens anymore. You know who I would hate to be this weekend?
Who?
Orange County Soccer Club.
That just doesn't roll off the tongue either.
Orange County Soccer Club.
Yeah, that just sounds like crap.
Get out of my face.
Yeah, that just sounds like crap. No, that's awesome. Good for them. I hope they get a big crowd out there on Saturday because it's going to be a nice day. Like that's
it's postseason football in downtown Memphis.
Football in downtown Memphis. Let's go.
No, in all seriousness.
No, I'm with you.
Like people care about this, and
yes,
it's fun.
It is fun. No, those games are a blast. Yeah.
Right. Like I get it. It's minor league soccer.
Sure.
It's not.
There's always going to be.
I got it.
Yeah.
I understand. We all understand.
Yes.
and I understand that if you don't follow this, I probably don't follow it as closely as I should. What I can tell you is every time I go, we have a blast.
Same.
Every time I take my kids, they run around. There's the quote minor league sports, or I wish there was a better way to say it. There probably is. What would you got a better way to say it?
Well, I mean, it's a professional league.
Yeah, it's just not the tip top of the professional leagues.
Yeah.
Right? It's not MLS, right?
Right.
Okay. So, whether it's the Hustle down in South Haven or 901 FC at AutoZone Park, it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right?
Redbirds. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm telling you, just as a father, you take your kids there, they have a good time.
Yeah.
They love it every time.
Now we got real stakes.
Now we got real stakes. Now we're playing for a championship this weekend, 901 FC, Orange County Soccer Club.
Ass.
Orange County Soccer Club.
They suck.
They stink.
Where are they?
In Orange County, Bennett.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, what state is Orange County in?
I believe that's in the state of California.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look
I had
at
to think
you.
for a second. But
Imagine you got to board a plane in California, fly all the way to Memphis International just to get your brains beat in by 901 FC AutoZone Park on an afternoon.
Yeah, because that is what'll happen.
Because that's what your future holds, Orange County Soccer Club. You'd have messed around and you should have been a 5 seed.
Yep.
Or the 7 seed. You'd have messed around, got locked into a 6 seed. You know what the 6 seed has to do?
Yeah.
Come get some of this 3 seed.
What's up with, you got the standings in front of you?
Yeah, I do.
What's up with Tampa Bay? We used to hate them.
I'll tell you the ones I hated. Was it the Tampa Bay Rowdies?
We hated them.
Yeah, they're overrated.
Yeah. They've always been, never played anybody, always been overrated.
Never played anybody, always overrated.
Yep.
They ain't earned their stripes.
No.
They ain't earned nothing.
No.
Yeah, I hated the Rowdies. I think I'm good with pretty much everybody. I think I'm supposed to hate Birmingham, but I don't know if I do.
But is that the Legion?
Yeah, the Birmingham Legion.
Yeah. But
I've had enough of the Rowdies and their fans.
The Legion's kind of like UAB. I don't hate them. I don't love them, but I respect them. Okay.
I think we were
about that?
I think we were having an exact conversation like this about the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yes.
Substitute Tampa Bay Rowdies for Orange County Soccer Club. We were saying the same stuff.
Same stuff.
And the Tampa Bay Rowdies fan base actually got upset with me, and they started like.
Oh yeah. No, they got after you.
And then there's a Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast.
Yes.
Okay, dedicated to, and they devoted a podcast. They were really upset, and I think I threatened to start a Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast that would be bigger than his. I said, keep messing around. Right now,
you should have done that.
I said, keep messing around. I got a million podcasts.
Yeah, that's right. You're damn right. You're good at this.
Buddy, I talk everywhere.
Yeah.
Say one more word to me. Right now, you got the Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast space to yourself.
Don't make us take it. Don't make us take it.
Say one more word to me, and I will start a Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast that will immediately be bigger than yours.
Don't test us.
Don't test us, Tampa Bay Rowdies. You know, let's see.
We got good directors in this building.
Hey,
we will take that podcast space over like that.
Let's look at the bracket and see when we can get them.
Yeah, what's up with the Rowdies? Are they in? They're usually pretty consistent.
They're in the East.
Yeah.
Let me look over here.
Oh, whoa, we got a bracket. Okay.
Yeah, baby, I got
Shout
a bracket.
Out Abigail. Oh, I see them. I
You
see them. I see the Rowdies.
There on the right side.
Look at them. Hey, they're the 6th seed. They're the 6th seed, just like the stupid Orange County thing.
Hanging out over there on the right side of the bracket. That's what I call the weak side of the bracket.
That is. Well, everyone knows the Western Conference is always the superior conference.
West is
we all know
East
that.
Is weak. East is a cakewalk.
East has always been weak.
You saw what LeBron did to the East all those years.
Exactly.
East is a cakewalk.
Yeah.
LeBron walked through it for years. All right?
Yeah.
So, of course, the Rowdies are over there in the easy. Imagine only being the 6th seed in the easy side.
I also just think that looking at this bracket, the West is just more aesthetically pleasing. Like the East is hurting my eyes. I can't even look at that crap. The West, like that just looks like...
West looks pretty.
That just looks like nothing but pretty, well-run franchise, except for Orange County.
Orange County, they stink.
Except for Orange County. But everything else just looks nice over there.
I like that 901 FC logo.
Oh, I do too. The jerseys are sharp too. Yeah, I might have to walk over there today and get me a jersey.
I own a jersey.
I know you do. I do.
I own a jersey.
I know. I don't.
If you remind me, I'm gonna rock it later this week.
I got a T-shirt and I got a hat, but I don't have a jersey.
Can you remind me? I'll rock it later this week.
Yeah. When are we playing Saturday? What time again?
1 o'clock. AutoZone Park.
Okay. I'll be at a wedding, but I'll pull it up on my phone.
Yeah. Bennett has committed to pulling everything up on his phone.
Yeah. I got things to do.
I know you do.
October's always insane.
You don't have to tell me nothing. Anyway, shouts to 901 FC, F OC Soccer Club, and F the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yep.
You know how I feel.
Yep.
Number 3.
Oh, my God. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? The Miami Heat decided to honor Dwayne Wade with a statue. Would make sense.
Of course. He's a legend of the franchise.
Legend of the franchise. It's Wade County, for crying out loud. And they unveiled the statue yesterday, and immediately, it got ripped to shreds. Let's just look at it together, and then we'll see what's going. You got to be kidding me.
Who is that?
That is
Who is that person?
That is
I said it looked like I said that it looked like the alien guy from Prometheus, the engineer.
I saw somebody on Twitter. I mean, the memes were outrageous, but somebody had the shot from Rocky IV, Apollo's manager. Throw the damn towel.
He does.
And he
yes,
looks a little bit like
does.
that.
I can see it.
Looks a little bit like that. How does this happen?
No, because this. Okay, where did it's blanking on me. Where did this most recently happen? Because we had another one that was
Ronaldo.
His bust.
There was Ronaldo.
Oof.
Right. Like I don't. This is the type of thing that I can never wrap my head around. Not that somebody can mess up a face on a statue. Like they probably did better than I could do.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
I mean, I couldn't do
that.
I couldn't do that good. Right. I'm not blown away that somebody could mess up Dwayne Wade's face on a statue. Looks hard. Looks hard to do.
Right.
Okay. Might need looks hard to do. What blows my mind is how somebody can say, all right, we're done. And then you can go, okay, let's put it right out front then.
Yeah.
At what point does somebody say, with all due respect, we are not putting this anywhere because we are putting all this money and energy into something to be celebrated and admired and loved and cherished. And instead, we're just going to get mocked. So just start over. We can't do this. Will not just start over and keep doing it till we get it right, because this will be a disaster for us. Once we do this, we will wish we wouldn't have. So let's just, you ready for this? Not do it until we get it right. I had the same argument about the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich.
Yeah, it was a subpar chicken sandwich.
Had the same argument. You ready? Same thing. I'm consistent in my logic. Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, amazing.
Yeah.
Then Popeyes comes out.
Then change the game.
Amazing. And then KFC is like, okay, we got to get in this. We got to get in this chicken sandwich game after all these years. And they unveiled their chicken sandwich, and immediately, because you know me, I'm a chicken sandwich enthusiast.
I am too.
I go get it, and I go, what are they doing? Because I took one bite, and I said, it's fine. I'm going to finish it. But it is so obviously not in the conversation with Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. I can't understand why, if you are in charge of Kentucky Fried Chicken, when they bring you this chicken sandwich, you don't go, pretty good. I'd put it up against McDonald's any day.
Yeah.
But we're not playing against McDonald's. We're playing against Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. And everybody who takes this bite is going to say we're nowhere close to them. So before we put this on the menu, let's start over. Go do it again. Instead, they just put a mediocre chicken sandwich on the menu. I've had it once. I'm a chicken sandwich enthusiast. I've had it once.
Did someone show this to Pat Riley before they? Because if somebody would have showed that to Pat Riley, he would have said no.
I don't understand how somebody doesn't just say no. Like, no, we can't. Even Dwayne Wade was.
He hated it. I do. Okay, I was gonna.
Like,
look at him. He's mad. Okay, bro.
This should be a special moment. You're with your children. This should be a special moment, and you just feel goofy
Dude, when they pulled down the curtain, like there's another video of when they pull down because they like have a curtain over it, right? And they pull it down and Dwayne Wade's standing in front of it. And I swear the look on his face, it was just like, because you can't be like, oh, that sucks.
He even at one point like looks back at it and goes like, look, this is a man. Look at who is this guy? He even says, who is this guy? Like, I know. Like, it's just you take this special moment and you turn it into a joke. Why?
Dude, and the thing is it's not like, I mean, we can get, I'll give you an example. When we go to Baltimore, we always go check out an Orioles game, and M&T Bank is right across the parking lot where the Ravens play, and they got a Ray Lewis statue in front of it.
Right.
It looks great. It looks like Ray Lewis doing the yell. Like, it looks perfect. Where was that guy? Where was that designer?
A great statue is great. A bad one is bad.
Yeah.
And nobody should ever see a bad one. That's my point. However that got created, fine, whatever. But it's got to be somebody's job to say, nobody will ever see this other than us.
Right.
Blow it up, start over. I'm a big believer in this with everything. I tell my kids all the time, I see them doing homework halfway.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, erase. We're going to do this right. I have no patience for people who don't take the time to do something right.
Yeah.
I don't like just doing stuff. Let's do it right. Take the time to do it.
Oh, my God. The Ronaldo one's worst.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
That's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
So, like, send this dude back, tell him to do it again. And if they can't get it right the second time, we'll find a new sculptor.
Yeah.
We'll find somebody who can get it right, but we're not putting something outside of our arena until it's done right. How can an organization that pretends to be as excellent as the Miami Heat organization let something like this happen?
Are you going to mess around and get this thing changed? You already got the penises taken off the Memphis court.
This has to get changed.
It's got to get changed.
It has to be changed because otherwise it's a joke every day for the rest of the world that it's there. We go to Citi Field, we take pictures in front of the Tom Seaver statue because it looks awesome. The Michael Jordan statue in front of the United Center looks awesome.
Yep.
There are awesome statues. That one's not. I don't understand how somebody doesn't step in and say, we're about to turn a great day into a bad day. So let's not do it.
We're going to get killed, yeah.
We're going to get killed. How does nobody know we're about to get killed if we do this?
Yeah.
I just don't like. There should be meetings. Like one day, I assume we'll have a statue outside of FedExForum. And please, God, if I'm still alive, put me in charge of just clearing it. I don't need to be involved in the design. Just let me be the person who looks at it and go, yeah, it's good enough.
That works. That's it.
But if it doesn't, let me say, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Just let me tell you what's going to happen.
I like that plan.
If you do this, this is what's going to happen. I have clear eyes. I can see these things. I can see what's coming. How could nobody in Miami see that once you took that drape off of that statue, you were going to have a big problem?
Oh, boy.
They're losing their way down there.
They are losing their way.
They're losing their way.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Titans lost again yesterday, 52-14 in Detroit.
Yep, worst loss in the league this season for any team.
They scored 0 points in the third quarter, 0 points in the fourth. They lose by $1 billion. They're now 1-6 with 3 losses by at least 14 points. This has gone from... This is embarrassing. This is like you've turned the Tennessee Titans into Louisville basketball under Kenny Payne.
Yes.
Why'd you do that?
Well... It's interesting you say that because I'm starting to wonder if the head coach, Brian Callahan, might not be the guy for this job. I know he's a rookie head coach, but it's the pattern that you're noticing now. Obviously, Will Levis has been a disaster, and he's gone, and Mason Rudolph's been playing fine, whatever. The pattern that I've been noticing is they come out with a pretty good game plan. They score in the first quarter of games. They score in the first half of games. Problem is they can't do anything after halftime. And so it appears, again, I'm not an NFL head coach, so I'm not going to speak like one, but what just the casual eyes see is someone who comes out with a good game plan, can put up some points in the first half, then the other team's coaches adjust, and you can't do anything in the second half.
Bennett spotted a flaw in his coach.
I'm just saying, like they
struggles with adjustments.
It seems like he might struggle with adjustments. They are god-awful. They're the worst offense in the league. They're the worst special teams in the history of the league. And I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what the answer is, but it is. I think now the sad part about all this is it's more than just going out and getting like whoever the best quarterback is in this draft.
Do you think you'd be sadder? Who's sadder right now? Titans fans or Jets fans?
Oh, Jets fans.
Gotta be.
Yeah, because Titans
fans. At least
fans,
they had expectations.
Titans fans, it was one of those things like, okay, we went and built this good team. Let's see what Will Levis is. And if he's not good, then we'll just have to get a real quarterback in here to surround this good team. Now, I think that's changed a little bit. I do not think they're a good team. And so we'll see what happens in the offseason. But yeah, the Jets, like, it's Super Bowl. Like, it's win your division and get in the playoffs. They're 2-5,
2-6,
and they're 2-6. Holy crap! And they
just lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, and that offense is broken. Like Aaron Rodgers, it ain't working.
Turns out being old, coming off an Achilles, that's not a great combination.
No, no. They're not very good at all. I'd be sick if I was a Jets fan.
Yeah, because you had high hopes and it just didn't just get beat down. Being a Jets fan is a little bit like being a Mets fan last year when you have the highest payroll and you bring in Scherzer and you bring in Justin Verlander and you're like, okay, here we go. And it just is a disaster and it just sucks everything out of you.
Yeah.
Whereas a Titans fan, you kind of knew it wasn't going to be good. You didn't know it was going to be this bad. But you know it was going to be good. At least Jets fans thought it was going to be good.
Yeah. Well, and then you go make the move for Devontae Adams, and it's just like, okay, well, it's been bad, but we went and got Rodgers' guy. Like, they have great chemistry. They've won together. But now you're just running out of time. Like, if they don't turn this around now, they're done.
Yeah, at some point you can
I think they're done anyways.
Well, yeah, at some point you can get good. Like, I saw Joe Burrow talking about this yesterday. He was like, we got 9 games left, something like this. Mm-hmm. He was like, we need to get to 10 wins, so we go 7-2 in the next 9. We're good. So, no, you're not going 7-2.
Right.
If you were capable of going 7-2, you wouldn't be in the spot you're in. So, you reach a point just based on the standings. Like, let's just snap our fingers and make the Jets good. They might not be good enough, even if they get good.
Yeah.
Being 2-6, you might not be able to get out of that.
No, because the Bills are running away with that division already. So at best, you're trying to be a wild card team. I just think
at some point you can get
Yeah.
good. You can look up and go, "Hey, we're a pretty good team right now." Yeah, but you weren't for the first 8 games of the year, and
right.
and so you got big problems. Anyway, I think Jets fans are more upset than you, but I understand if you're upset as well. I would like to tell you it'll get better, but I don't know that it will.
I don't either. I think they might. I think they might be bad for quite a while.
Yeah.
Actually,
right.
I'm preparing to be like Browns level of fandom. Yes.
Wow.
So
just don't go sign you a Deshaun Watson.
Okay, we'll try not to.
All right.
Number 5.
It's a wild story in Turkey.
What's going on?
Oh man, you don't even know. So there's a fella. He's a French fella, 24 years old. Okay. He decides he needs a beard transplant. Bennett, I don't know why. I guess everybody's not as fortunate as you to be able to grow their own beard.
Yeah, some people it grows just like patchy, I think.
If you couldn't grow that beautiful beard on your own, would you consider it a beard transplant so you could look the way you look right now?
No, I would not. I would just be cleanly shaved.
Right.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, if I couldn't grow one, then I just wouldn't grow one.
That's right.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. But this fella got obsessed with having a beard for some reason.
Okay. Well, they are. I mean, I like them.
I know you do.
I can't speak to everybody else. I like them.
I know you. Yeah. I'm not against them. I'm not against them.
Yeah, sure.
I couldn't do it.
Mm.
I like to be clean.
Could you do this?
Oh, I could.
You could do this? Yeah.
Except I would itch. I would go crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you.
You gotta moisturize.
You put moisturizer on your face?
No, I just wash my beard. That's it. I just wash it.
You don't understand.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wash my face.
Congratulations on watching. I assumed you washed your face. I was hoping you did.
Daily facial cleanser.
I was hoping you did. I assumed that about you. What I mean is that I would not be able to deal with that.
Right.
Just me, my own weird stuff. I would not
No,
feel,
I don't put beard oil in my beard. No.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't feel. I'm not judging you. I'm telling you how I would feel. I would never feel clean.
Yeah, I don't like the creams and stuff I don't like that.
No, I would not feel. I would not feel comfortable just walking around. Yeah, just walking around.
Well, I mean, you just wash it with shampoo.
When it's hot outside, you don't feel like, God, it would be nice not to have all this hair on my face. You don't ever feel that?
No, I don't really think about it.
See, I would never stop thinking about it. So that's my problem.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not judging you.
Fair enough.
I just would never stop thinking about it. It would bother me forever. But I could do it. Don't make me prove it to you.
I'd love you to grow a beard.
Well, I don't think I can do it during basketball season.
Oh, yeah, because you're on TV.
Yeah, but next summer, buddy, maybe I'll get one just to prove a point. Maybe just to prove something to you. Sometimes I need to prove stuff. Sometimes I need to pop out and prove myself.
Yeah.
So maybe, next April I'll just grow a beard just to prove myself.
I like it.
Beard for Easter. Okay. This fella wanted a beard so bad, he decided it was worth getting a beard transplant for. I can't understand it. I'm just telling you the story. He lives in France. You might have heard this before. Costs a lot of money to get the beard transplanted in France, but you can go to Turkey and get it for...
That's where people go get hair transplants, is Turkey.
Well,
yeah.
Here we are then. How'd you know that?
That's like a thing that's like people go and get, they have like the cheap and like good hair transplants over there.
Okay.
People go over there and do that. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what this fella did. It was going to cost something like $8,000 or $9,000 to get the beard transplant in France.
Yeah.
In Turkey, he'd get it for $1,300.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I'm going to go to Turkey. I'm going to go to Turkey and get my beard transplant. So he goes to Turkey, gets the beard transplant. It's a disaster. Come to find out, the person who conducted the beard transplant, you would think it's a surgeon, right? An estate agent, not a surgeon.
How's he qualified to do that
Not
transplant?
qualified. That's the point.
Okay.
Messes his fake beard up bad. Takes a bunch of hair off his head, tries to plant it in his face.
Oh, God.
It's all like everywhere.
Yeah.
Permanent damage done. Burning, scarring.
Yeah, because there's like burnings that they like burn it into you, I think, or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I also am not a surgeon.
Yeah, I
don't know what they do. I just know they're supposed to do it differently than the way this fella did it. All right?
Okay.
Guy kills himself.
Oh, my God.
He said, I can't live like this.
Oh, my God.
Imagine wanting so badly a beard that you go to Turkey to get it, and then after it's done, you just say, I can't live anymore. Night, night.
I just, why do you want a beard that bad?
Why do you want a beard that bad that it costs you your life?
It doesn't matter. Like, it's not, that's not something that people... like, again, like I like mine and I want to hang on to it, I guess. But like, I don't know if somebody was like, hey, you have to shave that like tomorrow or you're going to get fired.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
I'd be
okay, fine.
like, okay. Yeah.
I just can't imagine wanting a beard so bad that I'd go to Turkey and then killing myself after it because it went so poorly. Like, that's just man, there was a point in this person's life where like things were probably okay. And then he got obsessed with getting a beard. Next thing you know, he's in Turkey. Next thing you know, he's got a messed up beard and burns. Next thing you know, he just killed himself.
Dang, man.
Life can unravel on you fast, Bennett.
That's brutal. I mean,
and I know what people are thinking. Why are you telling us this story?
Yeah, why?
I know what you're saying. I'm telling it for Bennett.
Yeah.
Because I see you walking around sometimes and you're stressed out, but you ain't got a place to park.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you ain't got power half the time.
That's true too.
Life is challenging.
It definitely is.
But sometimes, and I fall victim to this myself, we tend to focus on the negative things instead of the positive things.
Right.
What I want you to focus on today isn't that you can't park at your place of employment.
Mm-hmm.
Not that. That you can't park where you work. I don't want you to focus on that. Okay? And I don't want you to focus on the likelihood of you losing power at any moment. I want you to focus on you will never have to go to Turkey to get a beard because you can grow one on your own.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Not everybody's as lucky.
I could have cut off some of mine and given it to this guy. Like I could have helped fill the patches. Like
we could have saved this guy.
Yeah,
we could have saved him, but we didn't.
That sucks.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I wish he would have thought about that.
You think they did a closed casket just so nobody had to look at that messed up beard? Close the casket. Close the casket. Nobody needs to see that messed up beard. Nobody needs to see that messed up beard. We'll be back. We'll be back in a sec.
Yellow lace is really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges, and you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
How much have you added weight since you were here?
Bro, I think I was like 20?
Rookie, you were
40 pounds.
You
I'm
were
like 265.
You 265 right now?
in between that and like 273, I'm floating in there.
You have looked at a scale and it said 273.
With shoes on, but still.
Too little.
That's not phone posits either, right?
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedExForum. Don't miss the world premiere of Scalosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedExForum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedExForum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up JustinTimberlake.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
You're looking at FedExForum. That's where the Grizz and Bulls will play tonight. 7 o'clock tip. Tickets available at Grizzlies.com. And we are expected to see Lonzo Ball in person for the first time in a long time. Real quick on this, but Lonzo, of course, number 2 pick, 2017 NBA draft by the Lakers. And he is playing this season for the first time since January 2022.
Wild, yeah.
He went more than 1,000 days in between NBA games after having a surgery for a meniscus tear, then another surgery on the same knee, and then he ultimately ended up having a cartilage transplant and a meniscus transplant in the same knee. He is literally the first human in the history of the world who's ever played in the NBA after a meniscus transplant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
So there was a time not too long ago where he reasonably assumed he'd never play again.
Sure.
Why? Imagine doctors say you need a meniscus transplant. And he says, okay, cool. So what's that look like? Well, this is what we do. Okay, what's the normal return time after a meniscus transplant to come back and play in the NBA? Oh, nobody's ever done it. We're not saying you can't. We're just saying you'd be the first.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. He's on a minutes restriction of about 16 minutes per game.
Sure.
You won't see him much, but still just nice to see him.
Yeah, good for him.
So All-American player. You know, we're a long ways from the big baller stuff.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Now LaMelo's the better player, and Lonzo is a guy who hadn't played in more than 1,000 days.
Right.
But he is playing now. It's limited stuff, small off-the-bench role player stuff. But still, when you think that your professional career might be over, I bet you even playing 13, 14, 15 minutes a game feels pretty good to you.
Yeah.
Bulls Grizz tonight inside FedEx Forum. We'll be back. GP's carryout.
Dinosaur draft.
Give me Littlefoot.
Littlefoot's a great pick
It
in your
is
alternate
damn
reality.
right.
in your fake dinosaur draft because
I'm
you don't
sorry.
believe in real
I'm sorry.
dinosaurs. Give me a velociraptor. It's so cute and so scary.
That's
I'm
not
sorry.
a real velociraptor.
That's not a chicken.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We have not talked to you since we got the big fella that's going to go next to you. What has impressed you about him, though? Just being on the same court with him, because you've watched him a lot in college. You got to see him. We got to see him very, very little in summer league.
Very quick twitch, like decision making. Yeah. No real fear of anything. Like very vocal, able to talk through the game. But I mean, like, do win Player of the Year twice. Like
I know.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract. He is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well-deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52 to 45. Meanwhile, the academies covering, again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedExForum, downtown Memphis. Wrap it up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but I think it's pretty clear. The most important thing, I'm anti-beard transplants across the board.
Yeah,
I don't think a beard should be that important to anybody. Obvious exception being perhaps if you're in ZZ Top. Maybe then.
Fair enough.
Outside of that, I don't think you need a beard transplant. And especially not one in Turkey. Because, buddy, that got all messed up real bad.
Yeah.
Imagine spending 1,300 euros just to mess your face up so much that you want to kill yourself. Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it. If you have a nice beard on your own, congratulations. If not, just be a clean face. Either one's fine, but you don't need to go to Turkey. That don't always end so well.
What's today's biggest game?
Monday night. Are you ready for some football?
Dude, it's a big sports day. Today is the 31st sports equinox in history, meaning all four of the major sports will be playing tonight.
We have Monday Night Football.
Yeah, we have Monday Night Football.
We have Game 3 of the World Series.
Yep.
We have NHL regular season.
Yep.
NBA regular season. In addition to that, we have Memphis, Alabama exhibition college football.
Mhm.
We have
College basketball.
College basketball. We have Raw. I mean, what more do you...
It's an incredible day.
This is like maybe the best Monday I can remember. Giants, Steelers, 7:15 kick. It's on ESPN, ABC, ESPN Plus. Pittsburgh, -6, totals 36.5. How you going to act?
I'll take the Steelers.
Bennett said lay them points.
Yeah, I'll take the Steelers.
You believe in Mike Tomlin?
I do.
I do too.
And listen, I was one of the people that was a little critical of benching Justin Fields, but Mike Tomlin knew what he was doing because Russell Wilson came in and looked awesome.
Turns out Mike Tomlin knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just trust Mike Tomlin to run the Steelers. He's been doing okay for a while.
I think I'll do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Bennett says take the Steelers. We're laying 6, kick 7:15 tonight.
What are we watching on TV?
WWE Raw preview suggests that tonight, USA Network, 7 o'clock, we could have... Do you know what's going on? Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom wants to wrestle Gunther.
Yeah.
And they were like, calm down.
Yeah, get out of here.
Calm down. You're going to die. You're going to die. You'd be better off going to Turkey and getting a beard transplant.
Right.
All right? And he took great offense to that. So did Liv, his woman of interest.
Yes.
And so they said, okay, buddy, fine. If you think you can mess around with Gunther, let's put you up against a world champion first. So we'll have a world champion come wrestle you at Raw next week. So tonight we got a mystery world champion coming to handle Dirty Dom. You know what people say?
What?
Here's what they say. This is what the streets are saying.
What?
Damian Priest.
Oh, that makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait, he's not a world champion.
He's a former world champion.
Oh, a former world champion. Gotcha.
He's a former world champion.
Yeah.
So we'll get that.
That makes sense. That's who it'll be.
Tiffany Stratton could cash in her Money in the Bank tonight. That's what they're suggesting. Could happen tonight.
Okay.
This is all leading up towards Crown Jewel. Should be a big night on USA Network.
Okay.
7 o'clock. It'll be there for you.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, we got transfer rankings over at CBSSports.com. Top 101 transfers in America. Tyrese Hunter at Memphis, number 40. PJ Haggerty at Memphis, number 59. If you want to check that out, you ain't seen it yet. Transfer rankings, the top 101 transfers in college basketball. You can find it at CBSSports.com right now. Isaac Trotter handled it. If you want to read every word, it'll take you about an hour. But if you just want to read the Memphis stuff, you can do that pretty quickly.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Tuesday. Chris Verner to be in studio. We'll be looking back at Grizz Bulls. Start looking ahead to Grizz Nets. Should be a fun day. I'm looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.